environmentalist, and he joins us right now live from our nation's capital. Patrick, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
Okay, it sounds like you don't think her plan is a good one. What's your major problem with it?
Well, it's a silly plan. That's why I suggested she was a pompous little twit. Twit meaning silly in the British lexicon, and pompous meaning arrogant. And she really rubbed me the wrong way when she said she's the boss, because she can make up a proposal that's completely ridiculous and no one else did. And that is what's wrong about this. In fact, the whole climate crisis, as they call it, is not only fake news, it's fake science. There is no climate crisis. There is weather and climate all around the world. And in fact, carbon dioxide is the main building block of all life. That's where the carbon comes from in carbon-based life, which is all life on land and in the sea. And not only that, a little bit of warming would not be a bad thing for myself being a Canadian, and the people in Russia wouldn't mind a little couple of degrees warmer either.
But Patrick, you know, there are so many scientists who have come out and have said that climate change is real.
Yes, of course climate change is real. It's been happening since the beginning of time. But it's not dangerous, and it's not made by people. Climate change is a perfectly natural phenomenon, and this modern warm period actually began about 300 years ago when the little ice age began to come to an end. There is nothing to be afraid of, and that's all they're doing is instilling fear. Most of the scientists who are saying it's a crisis are on perpetual government grants. On one hand, they say the science is settled and people like myself should just shut up because they know what's right. On the other hand, they seem to keep studying it forever as if there's something new to find out. And those two things are completely contradictory. Carbon dioxide is actually a benefit to the world. I'm in Washington this week for a directors meeting of the CO2 Coalition, whose purpose, and you should take a look at the CO2 Coalition online, because we have some of the top scientists in the United States and Canada on board, and we believe that carbon dioxide is entirely beneficial to both the environment, to agriculture and forestry, and to the climate of the Earth.
Patrick, I know you were president of Greenpeace in Canada, 7 years as a director of Greenpeace International. You founded this organization and then you left. Why were you one of the founders, and why did you decide to leave?
I was one of the founders as doing a PhD in the late 60s, early 70s in ecology. I was radicalized by the Cold War and the threat of all-out nuclear war and the emerging consciousness of the environment, and we did a lot of good things. We stopped nuclear testing in Alaska, we stopped it in the South Pacific, we saved the whales, and we stopped a lot of toxic waste being put into the ocean and the air. But by the mid-'80s, we had gained a lot of notoriety, and we were bringing in a lot of money, and we were hijacked by the extreme left, who basically took Greenpeace from a science-based organization to an organization based on sensationalism, misinformation, and fear.
And they are militant, and so is this next generation is really militant.